I guess
else?
first things first. I needed to ask: have you ever been to Michigan?
No.
You have not been to Michigan or
No.
Wisconsin.
Nope.
All right. So the thing is, I came up with a new itinerary in which we could visit Arizona. Because remember how we were talking about how we need to try to find a way to visit all the states by 2029.
Right.
Well, I mapped it out.
2030.
What?
2030.
2030. And it'll be difficult um, due to Arizona, Michigan, and Wisconsin.
Well, Wisconsin for you. I will be knocking off Wisconsin this year.
So that was my thing. So
Well, you also still need to go to Minnesota and North Dakota, which honestly, personally, I
no,
think you should just go
what I
yourself.
but I found out we can do that with a Washington trip.
Oh,
So fine, I'll tell you how I mapped it all out because I mapped
interesting.
out this whole thing how it could all be done. And the thing is that in order to make it worthwhile to go to Arizona this year, it just seems like you're just gonna be racking up all these states out of nowhere until we finally go to like Illinois and Indiana for me.
Right.
And so it's like, well, the only way for me to possibly catch up would be is if we visit Wisconsin and Michigan together rather than you just trying to knock them all off now.
Well, Michigan, I have no way of going. Michigan is just off the charts for me going there myself. It's just
Because
such. It's
so
just.
what I have is that 2024 we would 2024 in the spring, that's the same year as the eclipse, so we'd go through Texas, New Mexico, and Oklahoma and all that.
No, we weren't. No, we weren't gonna go to New
That's
Mexico.
20. That's the summer of 2020. That's the spring of 2024.
I know, but
The
we weren't
eclipse.
gonna go to New Mexico next spring. That was gonna be this fall.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This fall, Texas.
Well, we're gonna knock off Texas already, anyways.
No, 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 no. You're not listening. You're not listening. So, in I'm not saying that we will be knocking out. I'm saying that we'll be that in order for this to work, we'd have to do two trips in 1 year, which would involve the spring trip to see the eclipse in Texas, as well as another trip to California that summer.
Right, which was the
And then
plan.
2025, I was thinking we could do a Washington trip. We'd basically drive up, knock off South. Well, I guess we drive up through South Dakota, North Dakota, and then we jog over. In North Dakota, we could stop at Theodore, jog over through Montana all the way to Washington, and then they have like three national parks there. Right? We don't have enough time to visit all of them. I was thinking just one, and then we can come back and we can do all that in 8 days.
Okay.
2026 would be like a Florida trip. Knocking off Arkansas, Louisiana, Florida, coming up through South Carolina,
Yeah, that
Tennessee, and
trip.
all that.
Which
What? That's
which
2026.
I had that. I thought we had
2020,
that written down, but I might just have a photo.
2027 would be the main trip, and
Okay.
that would knock off the rest of the Northeast.
Are we doing California last then?
No, I just said 2024.
Oh,
That's what I was
2025 was
saying.
Montana,
That's what I
Washington.
was
Got
saying.
it.
I said we have to do two trips in 1 year. So the
Okay.
same year that we go to Texas for the solar eclipse, that spring, that summer we would do the California trip.
Okay. I don't know.
Yes.
We may. Well, I guess if we're gonna go up to Montana and North Dakota, can we? I guess we can't do it in the fall. Well, I guess we can't do it in the
No, it'd
fall,
be in the
can we?
summer.
Well, no, because see, that's the year Rondo and Banispitch come back, and they want me to come visit sooner, and I was gonna probably go in May.
Yeah. Why is this an issue?
It's an issue, money.
Why? You don't
Because
want to stay in the hotels or what?
what? What? No, if I don't no, if I don't have a tax return in 2024 again, there's no way I'm going to be able to pull off 3 giant trips within 3 months of each other.
Oh, okay.
That's the issue. I won't be able to pull off 3 giant trips within 3 months. Because, like, April will be Texas, and then probably May or June will be, North Dakota, and then, July, or I guess we could probably put it into August, because it's not like, I can't imagine it being too hot out in Theodore.
No. Well, see, I was just thinking that, these trips don't cost much more than like $300 total. And
Right.
so for me, I can save up $300 in a year.
Oh, well, yeah.
But I just figured I didn't know that was too much of an I didn't know that was so much of an issue for you.
It can be. It can be. Also, we never know if I'm going to have a different job by then. It just can be. There's no
And then
guarantee.
obviously 2028 would be Alaska, 2029 would be Hawaii.
Or, we wait a year before doing those.
Well, yeah, so then that would also, because see, I was trying to have it done by 2029. That way, if we do need a year off, it could be done
Got it.
and still be done by 2030.
Got it.
Because if I plan it to be done by 2030, it may be like
My question is,
2032 or
when are you
whatever.
when are you going to go to Wisconsin and Minnesota? Because, like you
So
said, we're
that's
going to go
the
up
thing.
through.
So that's the thing, right? So I figured that, obviously, if we do Arizona this year to knock it off for you, you would already have Wisconsin and all that. So what I was thinking is that if you were to wait to go to Wisconsin, and then all 3 of us go together at some point, and we could easily, well, I say easily, but we could do like a day trip, like a weekend trip, like take off 3 days or whatever. So Saturday, Sunday, and like a Monday or Friday or whatever. And we could go to like Minneapolis and go to I've always wanted to go to Mall of America.
Right.
And then, we could go over to Wisconsin, and then drive back and be back by the 3rd day. I also want to do like a Chicago trip, which is the same thing. Chicago's 8 hours away.
Well, here's
is Detroit. Detroit's like 9 hours.
well,
So we could still make it to Detroit in a day, spend a day there, and then drive back. Spend a full day and drive back the 3rd day.
okay. So here's kind of my vote, right? So Wisconsin, if we modify the main trip a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And because the main
Well,
trip,
see, yeah, that's the thing. You could technically knock off Wisconsin and Michigan on the trip to Maine. Technically, Michigan is easier, just because of how close I-80 runs to Michigan.
right?
No, wait, or is it? No, I think it is Wisconsin.
No, it's Michigan.
Chicago. No. I think it is Wisconsin, because if you look at I-80, it goes right by Chicago.
Right.
Like it's like within miles, like a couple miles of Chicago.
Right. I know.
And but what I'm trying to say though is that you could easily jog up, spend an hour there, and then come back down. I'm not sure how big of cities there are on the border.
It's Milwaukee. Yes. You're not going to make it to Milwaukee. Hold on. Are we talking Michigan or are we talking Wisconsin?
Well, both.
Okay, because Wisconsin is not right across the border. It's probably an hour drive off the interstate. Hour there, hour. So it's a 3-hour jaunt.
Yeah.
Which is why, here's my question, right? What was your plan? What path did you take to get to Theodore?
Take I-29
Okay.
that goes all the way up, and I-29 actually goes all the way up to Minnesota.
I know. I've driven a good
But
portion
basically,
of it.
when I set my map, I just routed a course. I didn't even plan to go through Minnesota. I just looked at how long did it take from Nebraska to Theodore. Nebraska to Theodore is 12 hours. Theodore to Missoula, Montana, is 10 hours.
Holy
Missoula
crap.
to Mount Rainier in Washington is 10 hours. You spend a day at Mount Rainier. That's 5 days. And then you have 3 days to get back home.
Okay, and we'll probably end up jotting back down through.
And so that'd be a total of 8 days.
And honestly,
So
Mount Rainier.
one day to drive to Theodore, spend a day at Theodore, a day to drive to Montana, a day to drive to Washington, spend a day in Washington, and
Okay.
then you have 3 days to return home.
So all right.
So you could spend 2 days in Washington, or like a day and a half, and drive back.
Okay. When did you start going west? When did you get off of I-29?
I just typed in Theodore.
Because there's multiple routes to get to Theodore, one of which is like this diagonal thing, and that's like the fastest route.
Yeah. So so the route is the diagonal one. I mean, there is a route that goes closer to Minnesota without actually going through Minnesota. I think the closest you get is like Sioux Falls. But I mean, I think you could easily jog over and hit Minnesota. It'd just be like a 13-hour drive because you have to spend a day in Minnesota. But I guess, if you're an hour outside of Theodore, you drive to Theodore the next morning, and it shouldn't be that big of an issue because Theodore, you have all day. And, if you're an hour away, that's not really that bad for driving,
Well, I mean, I was just looking at it now, and it doesn't have you taking anywhere close to Minnesota. Unless you take that 1 minute
12
longer
hour, 8
one
minutes.
up through South Dakota into Sioux Falls.
That's 12 hours, 8 minutes. That's longer by 9 minutes.
What is your Google doing? Because my Google has 11 hours, 33 minutes, 11 hours, 34 minutes.
Oh, well, we have 2 different homes. I'm doing home, which is...
Don't say that. How does that change the time so much?
I don't know. You can cut that, right?
Well, yeah. That's so weird because mine... mine's a fun... Because... Well, okay, if you take I-29, it's the boring route. You take the non-scenic route. If you take the 1 minute faster route, you won't be able to go to you won't go to Wisconsin. I mean, Minnesota, I should say. But you'll be able to go to Broken Bow, Thedford. Actually, you'll turn right before Thedford and go north to Valentine.
Yeah.
What a fun route. That'd be a cool
But
route.
you're nowhere near Minnesota.
I know. It's like, do you want to see Minnesota or do you want to take the fun scenic route that takes us through?
Like I said, I was thinking we do like a weekend trip up to Mall of America.
Oh, well.
And then you'd be done. Because you can drive to Minneapolis in like 6 hours.
Right.
And so you drive there, spend the next day. You could spend all day there. You could spend till like 4 o'clock. Drive back.
I mean, I'm already sold on going to Wisconsin this year.
See, that's the thing, though.
I mean, I have no issues going with you to Wisconsin, though. With all 3 of you, I have no issues doing that.
No. It's just like, I don't know how I feel about you racking up all these states, though.
Racking up that many states? We haven't even agreed on if we're going to Arizona this year or not.
Well, see, that was the thing because I made a route to go to Arizona, and I want to hear your thoughts because actually it sounds kind of fun.
Okay. Do we get to go to the Grand Canyon then? Is that the plan, or?
Yeah. Well, that's how we'd knock off Arizona.
Excellent.
I'll read it off, but so Saturday we drive down to Santa Fe, New
And remember,
Mexico.
Kyle's still ahead.
No, I think you're ahead now.
No, I'm tied, if not still behind him.
But he hasn't been to. No, I don't think so.
Because I thought he's been to North Dakota still. I thought, or did we eliminate North Dakota?
No, he doesn't count. He can't count North Dakota because if he was never really there. If he was, he would have been asleep.
Mm.
I don't count North Dakota for him because one, he doesn't even know if he went through North Dakota. It's a possibility he did, and number two, he said he slept.
That's insane. Of course.
That doesn't count to me. I can't count that.
I guess. No, I mean, oh yes. I agree. But that well. But
Anyways.
I want to go. The thing is, I want to go visit Outback, and so I'm gonna be literally an hour from the border. It feels ridiculous not going across the border and getting the state.
Yeah, but if you do, because then it's like you got Arizona now, and then it's like you're just so far ahead. It's just like
That's what I'm saying. Like, you guys can go to Minnesota yourselves.
No, we won't. No, we won't. I know we could, but we won't.
You guys need to have more fun.
Anyways.
Also, but like, that's also kind of like, it's also like, I always said, like, you know, I'm the kind of person, like, going to, like, California was, like, always my dream to do it, like, by myself. I have no issues going along with you guys and us doing it together. But it's like, you know, that it's literally been my dream since high school. I actually wanted to do it. That summer between high school and college, it wasn't gonna work because I got a job and I didn't have the money.
The thing is, for me, I just don't want to go on these trips alone. I just don't like just wandering around in a city, just aimlessly trying to find something to do without anyone to talk to. Because you at least have friends to talk to when you're in North Dakota. That's the big difference.
Well, yeah, but not when I go to Wisconsin. Wisconsin, I will be by myself.
Exactly, but I can't do that. I don't. That's not my type of personality.
Fair enough. I want to go. I'm not. I'm sorry. I know, but I'm gonna be so damn close to the border.
Because it's like the only alternative would be to just forget about this Arizona thing and you figure out Arizona on your own.
Well, see, Arizona could be fixed multiple ways, but you guys just can't take more time off for the eclipse.
No, we can't take more time off. I told you that.
I know. I just said you just can't. It'd be stupid for us to drive 2 cars, but honestly, that would fix the issue. I would just take an extra day and zip through Arizona by myself.
You do realize that there is a problem, though.
What?
I looked into that. So Albuquerque is like 3 hours from the border of Arizona. There is no nearby towns or cities for like over an hour. So you'd have to drive an additional hour just on the road because there's nothing within.
Well, yeah, I was going to take like an extra day or so to go into Arizona.
Oh.
Like, either go up to Flagstaff, probably go up to Flagstaff or something. Or what have you. Go vibe. But of course, it doesn't fix the issue because you guys won't go to states by yourselves. But anyways, what is next segment? What is your plan for this summer now? What have you changed about our trajectory?
Well, it does. It will. So if you go to Wisconsin, then we'll just forget about Arizona. But if you don't, then the option to go to Arizona would be driving to Santa Fe, which is 12 and a half hours. Then we drive to the Grand Canyon, which is 7 hours from Santa Fe. We then spend 2 full days at the Grand Canyon, Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday, we drive to Canyonland, and that's 7 hours. And then I looked it up. It's like you could see it in a half day. They recommend a full day if you have it, but I mean a half day is plenty. And then that's only like 30 minutes from the Arches. So then Thursday we could spend all day at the Arches. Friday we would drive to Denver, which is like 5.5 hours away. The museum is open till like 9 p.m. So Denver is like 5 hours away. So you could get to Denver, sometime early afternoon. Spend all afternoon and evening, if necessary, at this, science museum. And then the next day, Saturday, we drive home, which is 7 hours.
Okay, so how many national parks are we hitting up then?
3.
3. Canyonlands, Arches, and Grand Canyon.
And the other one was 5.
Well, we will be hitting off. We will finally get to go to Santa Fe.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So that was the other thing, and you could knock off Santa Fe at the Capitol. Yeah.
Are we taking the Colorado route then?
I don't know. Whatever. I just typed in Santa Fe and just wrote down whatever is the fastest route.
Okay. Because it's just like we could, but I mean, luckily we don't need to do the stupid. We don't need to go through. We don't need to try and do the Texas and Oklahoma thing. We can go.
However, I will say with the other route that we did, we would have also been able to knock off 2 of Nebraska's corners.
I only see doing one corner.
I just thought it'd be fun though.
I know. I only see the ability to cross off one. I only see the ability to cross off one.
No, I get it, but it's like, why not cross off 2 if it doesn't tack on but like 10 minutes to the trip?
Right, I know. I you said 2 though. I don't see how you're crossing off 2.
What?
You said 2 corners. I only see crossing off 1.
No, on the way home.
Oh, and going through what the
I don't know.
Which one were you talking?
I type in a route, and I see the route goes by a corner, and then I'm like, hey, we can knock that off.
Well, yeah, I know the one is super easy. I just don't know which of the other 2 that are in that area for the way back would be the one that you would cross off. The other.
I don't know. I don't know which one. I just saw that one of them is like 10 minutes out of our way. Both of them.
Well, actually, the one isn't even like 10 minutes. You literally hop off I-80 at Big Springs, take a county road. Take a county road south 4 miles, and you're there.
It's super easy. Mm-hmm.
It's incredibly easy. I'd be down. We would literally just hop off at Big Springs, drive south, and we're there. A few miles. But that means we gotta do the jank way and go through Lyman, but that's fine. So yeah, we just won't take, which is fine, because again, we're going to cross off Oklahoma and Texas this spring anyway, this fall anyways.
Mm-hmm.
I just... I don't know why you won't let me go to freaking Wisconsin. It's right. I'm going to see Outback. I will be an hour from Wisconsin. What?
You can go to Wisconsin.
But you said we're not going to do the Arizona thing, which means I have to figure out...
I'm saying it's one or the other.
I know. I don't know why you won't let me do both. It's not about...
Because Because then you're just too far ahead, and it just seems too easy for you to finish it up without me having to take a trip on my own.
We won't. We're gonna end up doing it at the same time ending anyways.
No, I know that. Well, that's the hope. But it's just like I could easily see something like Michigan or Wisconsin or something just being forgotten about just because we run out of time, and you've already knocked it off. So it's like, what's the big deal? You don't see an issue.
Well, you gotta also think about it this way though. Okay, so once Rondo and Badass Bitch come back, I'll only have one trip per year. So
yes, but you've already visited the state, so it doesn't matter.
Huh?
But you would have already visited the state, so it doesn't matter.
I've already visited Minnesota and North Dakota, but I'm going back.
Yes, I know, but I still have to knock off those.
Well, I know, but like we're gonna knock off North Dakota. We're gonna knock off, and
we have to make a separate trip. We have to do 2 trips in 1 year to be able to knock off Minnesota and Wisconsin.
Which you wanted to do anyways.
I want to, but you make it sound like it's not very likely, given that it's hard for you to save up for
no.
in a year.
Between now and by 2025, it won't be an issue. It's with the current.
You say that until you have to buy a new truck.
Yes. Well, I physically can't buy a truck, so at some point, period. So at some point, there's going to be that's a different issue. What we have to remember is, let's look at it this way. We will be able to do 2 easily, extremely easily. We're doing 3 this year.
Yeah, but is that in the budget though? Is that going to put an economic burden on you?
I'm doing 4 this year. Well, it wasn't an issue until my tax return fiasco. It wasn't an issue until my tax return fiasco, which I wasn't expecting. I wasn't expecting a tax return fiasco. But again, it will be fine. The math is still there. It will still work out as long as gas prices don't go stupidly through the roof between now. Depending if the economy collapses in the next few months, which could probably have a negative impact on all of us on any of these trips, because it could cause massive price issues. But if I can make sacrifices, I can make changes. I have no issues with going to Wisconsin. I want to see Mall of America too. I'm not going to see this trip I'm taking this year is I'm going to see Outback, and while I'm there, I'm just going to go to Wisconsin. It's not like I'm going to see Minnesota and enjoy it. I'm going to be in the car driving down the road. It's not like I'm enjoying the state. I'm there to see a friend. So, and it's like, while I'm there, and what if he's like, well, let's go to Wisconsin together? What if Outback's like, let's just go to Wisconsin together? What am I supposed to say? Oh, nope, sorry, can't.
You could.
No, I'm not gonna be an ass. I'm not gonna be like, Phil said no, since we already went to Arizona this year. Look, I'm going to be subjected to going through Illinois, Indiana, and Kentucky with all of you. All those states which are ass. So it's like, so you guys can go to them. And it's like,
well, Indiana has 2 national parks though.
Yeah, in the southern tip, but that's not the part of Indiana we're going to be going through.
No, it's in the north.
Oh yeah, but that's also like we're not.
Northern
That's
trip.
also the part like we're not going to be stopping at
But
the
see,
national.
the idea was that I was planning is that a trip to Detroit could allow you to see those national parks along the way.
Oh, so another weekend trip.
A weekend. I told you, Detroit's 9 hours away.
Right. But again, but we're already going to have Indiana crossed off by that point, and Michigan.
It's possible, but I'm saying you wouldn't need to. You wouldn't need to backtrack up through Michigan. You could just keep going down I-80 and just keep on going past Michigan because you would have already seen it. Versus having to spend, an extra hour.
What year is the main trip?
What?
What year is the main trip?
What did I write down? 2026?
That's mathematically not possible. Not if we do a Wisconsin trip in 2025.
No, I'm sorry. Maine was 2027.
Oh, then yeah, I guess.
We could easily do a Detroit trip.
Then yeah, if it
Detroit's
was going to be
9
like
hours
2025.
away, and along the way you stop at, Indiana Sand Dunes and the other one. I think there's another one.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That'll make that damn trip a lot easier because Indiana's rough.
Yeah, so you knock off a national park and you get to see Detroit.
It's a horrendous state. What's in Detroit?
Anything.
Ugh.
It's just a big city that, I don't know. I thought it'd be
That
fun
you'll
to
get
go.
shot in.
I'm sure you'll have some great stories to tell the kids.
Well, there's much nicer parts of Michigan that we can go to that won't result in us being shot.
We won't die.
Maybe we'll just cross into Canada and call it good. South Detroit is right there.
Actually, there is a national park in Detroit, in Michigan, but it's up in the very, very, very tip top.
Yeah, I know.
It's one of the least visited national parks,
Oh, I'm sure.
if not number one. I thought number one was in Alaska, but it might be number one.
I'm sure. No one wants to frickin' go to Michigan, so. Sorry to my Michigan viewers, but.
I think it's like Isle Royal or something. Isle Royale.
Anyways. I will set the funding aside for our Mall of America Wisconsin trip if you let me go to Wisconsin.
I'll tell you what.
Hello?
What? Damn it. You have to cut that.
Yeah, I know. I listen to it anyways.
I will let Kyle be the deciding vote.
Okay.
I will present both trips to him, and then I will let you know what he says.
Because he's already been to Minnesota, so a Minnesota trip to him is a waste of time.
So I'll present both trips, and I'll see which one he likes best. Whichever one he likes best, that's the one we'll do.
Okay. Not because we're crossing out the state. This Arizona one sounds much more. It feels much more feasible, and and not so much rushed. Like trying to hit up like so many national parks. We're hitting up 3.
I mean, you're spending the day at each one.
Well, yeah, but the previous one, it just felt like we were gonna hit up like 2 in one day for one of them. I thought, yeah.
No, that wasn't the plan. I changed it to the plan was to hit up 1 a day.
Oh, okay. I don't remember.
One a day.
Well, anyways, but it was just so much more ambitious and just kind of ridiculous what we were trying to do, and it was just like, holy crap.
What do you mean? Well, the thing is that they're all along a highway.
Yeah, I know.
And so the highway, you just follow the highway, and I was just like, what? You could knock off like all of these
Yeah.
one a day, and because see, there's actually a thing called the Grand Circle,
Yeah, I know
and we're
all
doing
about it.
like.
We've talked about it many, many, many times on this podcast.
But what I'm telling you is that that's how I found out that all these things are just along a highway, and it's just like it may seem rushed, but the thing is that they're all like so close to each other. It's just like boom, boom, boom. It's like why not spend a day at each one? Something different each day.
Also, like, I mean, think about the Arizona trip this way. Like, yeah, you guys were there when you were kids, but like, you were there for like a day, and you were there for the wedding. You didn't, huh?
3 days, 3 days.
3 days. You were there for. I mean, that's gonna be longer than we're gonna be here. But Kyle doesn't even remember it. And you yourself, don't you want to go back?
I mean, yeah, but I mean, I don't see any rush to get it done before 2030.
Right, but I don't know. I feel like I'd be even if I already had it and it was something like I had already done. It's like I would like to go back soon so that I could, especially the Grand Canyon. Why not?
Well, I'm not saying I don't want to go to the Grand Canyon. I don't want to do this trip too. It's just that I just don't. I'm just not fond of the idea of assisting you with all these states that I've already been to.
One state. It is one state. We're talking one state.
Yes, but it's also a difficult state to get to.
No, it's not.
It's out of the way though. You'd have to spend a whole nother trip. You have to literally plan a trip just to go there. That's what I mean by difficult.
Well, yeah.
You can't just knock it off in passing. You literally have to make a trip designed to go there.
Well, unless we crossed off Oregon on that Montana trip, and we went to South California instead of Northern California.
But you still have to you still need a Washington trip.
Well, no, that's what I said. We cross off Oregon in the Washington trip.
Oh.
Because we're going to be going through Idaho anyways.
Yeah. How does this help you with Arizona?
No, I'm just saying. No, if we modified the California trip and went to Southern California instead of Northern California, then it would solve the Arizona crisis. Because then it's not like a specialty trip. You have to go through it to get there.
Wait, when would you go to Southern California?
Our California trip is now, if we were to change the California trip to Southern California instead of Northern California, and we modify the Washington trip so that we go through Oregon as well, instead of just,
But your whole thing with California is you wanted to go to the Redwoods.
Right. I'm just saying, though.
I know. I'm just countering with the whole reason.
I don't care. Look, honest. Yes, I want to see all the damn national parks, but if we want to do the damn states, compromises have to be made.
No, I know. I'm just saying that you told me that the number one thing that you want to see in California. You couldn't give two shits about, L.A. and all that. You said you want to see the Redwoods.
I shouldn't say I do want to go to L.A. Like it's such a cultural hub. Why would you not want to go to L.A.?
You make the claim that you get shot and die.
That's if you don't know
what you get mugged by a homeless man. These are the
That's if we went to L.A. as idiots and we just went to L.A. to go to L.A. But if we went to L.A. and went to Hollywood, like a rational human being, then you wouldn't get shot. You just spend a gorgeous amount of money.
Counter-argument you made to me about Detroit.
What?
Making the same argument you made to me about Detroit.
Detroit's way more dangerous than Los Angeles.
No, I know, but I'm just saying you can travel safely.
Well, and it's also, I'm not saying Southern California. We go to Detroit. We go to Detroit, Los Angeles. We could go to San Diego. Or we could just go to Joshua Tree.
Is that in Southern California? I don't know.
Yeah. You'd probably drive right past it when you take I-18 out of Phoenix. But you're probably going to take I-40 into Bakersfield. Which Bakersfield, you could also just go to Bakersfield. But yes, we'll leave it up to Kyle to decide. And if he picks not to go to Arizona, then I'll just figure it out myself. And I will make it there sometime. I don't know how, I don't know when, but I'll figure it out. Because there's nothing in that northern corner, which is a real issue. So I got to go deep into Arizona to make it worth my time. For it to count. Which is very annoying. There's not even a freaking national park up there. It's just empty.
Yeah.
What the hell? What is this area of the United States? Oh, it's Navajo Nation. That's why. So we physically cannot put a national park there. Well, and it's Hopi, H-O-P-I reservation. So that whole thing, I guess that makes sense.
That is correct.
Jesus. This town is literally tiny, but it has a massive high school with an impressive, I'm pretty sure this is high school. It's a community school. Okay, so it's, I'm not sure what it is. Very interesting. Very interesting. Rock Point, you're a very interesting place. I don't know what you are, but you're something else. Well, you said you had to drive an hour in. Oh, 3 hours in, you said. Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Pastora Peak. Como Mountain. Wait a minute. That's if you were to only spend an hour in the state.
I told you, you'd have to drive an hour in, an hour back, so that's 2 hours, but it takes 3 hours to get there from Albuquerque. 3 hours to get to the border.
Well, yeah, that's not the issue. The issue is not driving 3 hours there. I'm just discussing what I would, like, if we were, because how is the stupid, because it was, you don't have to drive an hour. That's fine. Well, then Arizona is piece of cake.
Yeah, you drive an hour in, and then you have to drive an hour back.
Then I could do that. I don't understand what the issue is.
I'll tell you the rules that we came up with again.
I don't know when I would do this, but
so
he's thinking. Folks.
Drive an hour into the state at highway speeds during the day, or spend an hour outside during the day in a city of at least 5,000 people.
Sanders. Oh, yeah, then, just take...
So basically, if there's a city right there, you don't need to drive an hour into the state. But, we made that rule, that other condition for something like Iowa, where it's physically possible to drive all the way through Iowa, never once stopping, and not be able to say it's a state, which I don't agree with.
Right.
Which is where the hour into a state rule came into play.
Mm-hmm.
Because then we couldn't just say drive across the state, because there's a highway that goes through West Virginia.
Yeah. Well, I know the.
Like, well, does that count? Well, no, an hour in. if it takes an hour to drive across that, then yes, that
I
would
know
count.
the exemptions.
So,
Well, let's hope he picks the Arizona trip, because it would be difficult, but I could certainly do it. And who knows? By that point, I could have people who want to go along with me. Plus, this would be like 2026 I'd be doing this. 2027. Figure it out. I'm just saying that it's going to be convenient for me to go to Wisconsin. And it's like, why not? Like, it's going to be so damn convenient. It's hard not to. Like,
I get it. I don't blame you.
Well, and that's even if Outback even wants to hang out. Which in that case, it's like, if he's like, well, I got work. Which in that case, it's like, I have no other reason to go to Wisconsin then. Because it's like, oh, well, I drove all the... But it's like, I'm taking the extra days off. It's like, I might as well do something with that time. I'd rather go to Duluth. I think I could meet with one of our viewers up there in Duluth. But I don't have... But it's out of the damn way. There's no roads that go to it. Anyways, well, we are 53 minutes in. We have kind of discussed everything there is to discuss. I mean, I'm crossing off Canada this year. I'm pretty sure we're doing Canada, not Theodore. But yes, Canada. Anyways, is there anything else? What are you going to ask Kyle this question?
Right now. So, yeah, there cannot be any sort of persuasion on your part.
Okay. Are you calling him or what are you doing?
I'm texting him.
Oh, that might be 3 days before we hear back from him. If ever.
Well, there can be no persuasion in the meantime.
Okay. Well, anyways, I would like to thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. New podcast every Friday. 12 p.m. Central Time. And good night.